Yeah, it has a tendency to, like when you clamp these in, sometimes to lift it up a little bit. And when it does that, then it won't be parallel from one side to the next. Because I flip this over again, I'm just going to take off like probably a 1/16 off the top here, just to make sure that side's going to be nice and nice. Because every time you flip a piece of wood or something, right, and it's very tough to get it exactly because you flip one side to the next. Typically, it should be perfect if you have perfect wood. This should be pretty good because it's so dry, but like I said, wood has a tendency, once you start taking some ribs off it, has a tendency to twist or to bend a little tiny bit. You can see now why I wanted to true that top piece up, right? Now my next cut down, when I do my next cut down, my next cut will be perfect, right? Because it'll be perfectly planed with the blade now. If I would have just did 1.5 inches down from there, it would have been 1.5 inches. Like you see how that side's like that side's like that, right? So there was a little bit of funkiness going on. I like this real thin wood, especially I have some of it. Some of it's pretty flexible. It's just always good for little hobbies or other. But most of the time I'll probably just end up burning it up anyways. That's the problem with being a carpenter. Like every tiny piece of wood you think, oh, that's a good piece of wood saved. That's a good piece of wood saved. And then when you go to cut firewood. Like this was firewood that I salvaged out of the bush. This log was supposed to be for firewood, but it's tough when you have a sawmill trying to cut a nice log. Then once you cut that nice log up into pieces of lumber, then it's hard to throw away any of those pieces that you cut. Or it's a problem with that. Yeah, for some reason my water tank keeps on staying about the same, so I'm using like windshield washer fluid and water 50-50, right? So it's warm enough where it's not even really that cold out. So I'm almost thinking that I have something stuck in that line up there. I did put a little bit of dirty water in that water tank by accident the other day. So, but yeah, this is another nice plank, right? I'm just cutting without any water right now. It doesn't really make too much of a difference, I don't think, but it'll probably cut a little bit nicer. You can see like I kept that split, like that split's like right down the middle of this piece here, right? I might, you know, there's probably a few pieces of wood if I was really, I could cut it off there, and probably there. I could probably take a rip out of the top there and then cut that down, but I'm not really that worried. I'm just trying to get some slabs for this tabletop. So I've got a couple more logs that I'm going to be milling up, and I should almost have enough out of those other two there, right? That I won't need this piece here. This like I lost one nice plank out of the middle of this because of this this checking in this log, but that's the problem. But the one bonus is that you don't have to have your wood. You don't have to put your wood in a kiln and dry it all, right, because it's already dry. That's the only good thing about getting salvaged dry pine. It will be checked. You'll have cracks through your log, but if you can work around those, around these checks and get those checks taken care of, then you'll have some nice like with that nice deep blues and stuff like that. You'll have some really nice planks to work with, right? You can start working with them right away, and you don't have to worry about them warping or twisting on you. So what do I need to do? Well, I need to throw another log up here, I guess. So be one more log here I just got to grab, and then I'll be whoops. See the fire. I can see a fire over at the lodge. No, it's not a signal fire to come over and have a beer because they don't drink. Well, I know Eric doesn't drink. I don't know about his son. So, that looks pretty good, just the way it's sitting right there almost. So I got about 10 3/8 there. 10 7/16 there. Give or take 30-second or two. Seems pretty good to me, so I'm just going to cut that log just like that there. I'm going to knock this log down. Probably come down so I get a good 6 or 7 inches here, and then I'll flip it over, and no, I don't have any checks in this, right? There's no checking in it. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm just going to come down wherever I'm about 4 inches here, and then start coming down in 1.5 inch increments until I get down to a little over halfway, and then flip it over, and then I'll do the same thing coming from the other way. I think. Yeah, I will. Yeah, there's something, I don't know if it's a piece of ice. I try to blow into that, get that water line working again there. Gonna have to just take a quick look at it. Because these saws are, the blades are lubricated with water. So in the wintertime, to keep things from freezing up, use windshield wiper fluid. Huh. Okay, now I'm just trying to figure out where I'm going to cut this sucker to. I think it was 10 and something, so we'll try 9 inches, I guess. See where 9 inches takes us. So with the mill, when you're trying to figure out cuts, let's say if I want 1.5 inch planks out of this thing, then I have to add on for each cut, I have to add on 1/8 of an inch to allow for the saw curve. I'm setting this as low as possible right now so that I can just keep on doing slabs all the way down. Should I do it like that? Yeah, I'll do it like that, but sometimes the bottom one, you just don't quite get the bottom one 100%, but I'll give it a go. Just because these dogs here, sometimes oh yeah, that was locked in nice there. So let me see this. So I've got probably like here, where I've got some thickness across the top. I've probably got it looks like a little around 8. So then I gotta think if I'm doing planks, right? How many times is 1.5 inches going to 8? So I'm going to probably going to do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, maybe 5. So if I'm going to do 5, I have to do 5 times 1.5 inches, right? So that will be 7.5, plus each of those 5 has an 1/8 that I have to add on to it, right? So that's another 1/2 inch. So that brought me up to 7.5, 8 1/8. I'll see where 8 1/8 takes me from the top here. Just want to double check those numbers because sometimes my mind math doesn't always jive. So what do I got here? Got about 8 inches. So I got 1.5. That's 1, and then 2, 3, 4, 5 pieces. So with each cut, I'm going to add on an 1/8. So add on 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 8. So yeah, I'll be cutting 8 1/8. So I just needed to double check that. So I'm going to set my mill right now at 8 1/8, and then I should just be able to take off slabs down from that. I should just be able to come down 1.5 inches, 1.5 inches, and then hopefully at the bottom I have a perfect 1.5 inches. But I never trust the bottom cuts, but for what I'm doing, it's all right. Because every time you take cuts out of it, right, it has a tendency to twist the lumber up a little bit. Unless you have a dog system that can lock. All the top ones will be fine, except for probably once I get down to the bottom. That one might have a couple variations. There's a couple tricks that I know maybe I can fix it, but we'll see. This one's got a little bit of the blue. Not quite as nice as that last log, but it does have some. Usually most of the blue's on the outside of your log, but the other That other log that I cut was right through the whole thing. That was nice. Yeah, these are like just nice and deadly, straight, flat, right? They'll make a nice tabletop. Hey Mark, how's it going? Hey Laura.